Nithyanandam. With all auspicious blessings and grace of my Guru, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Shri Nithyananda Paramashivam, I welcome you to this video. Through these videos, I want to share my journey of living the life of enlightenment. Just like you all, I thought human emotions were normal. Getting angry, getting irritated, getting sad, getting frustrated, especially when there is a failure, something unimagined and something you never want to happen in life happens to you. You feel being sad, being depressed is a norm. If someone snubs you, feeling low is a norm. Feeling low or feeling, trying to show it does not impact you, while it in fact actually impacts you inside. All these human emotions were a norm, I thought. But then I started following Swamiji's teachings and his principles on science of completion. And I realized that all the human emotions are not a norm. We do not need to be angry, sad, frustrated, life negative, even when there is a failure, even when there is a challenge which you feel is unsurmountable. Even during those times, you do not need to feel angry, frustrated, sad, depressed, or feel like a failure forever. Can you imagine life like that? Can you imagine life living untouched by human emotions, where your emotions are not your decision makers? Making decisions out of fear or greed. Fear of failure and greed for success are the two fundamental triggers of these various human emotions. And I always used to think, like many of us still do, that living without being touched by any of these emotions. After all, it's a norm, right? If someone is unjust to you, you feeling unjust is a norm. And if possible, let's take revenge on them. With a lot of anger and violence is a norm. If someone betrays you, feeling let down, feeling sad, the sense of betrayal, the sense of loss of hope, and then the anger, the sense of feeling violated. All these are a norm, correct? I used to think the same. But I also used to read how saints and gurus and Hindu incarnations used to live. And Bhagavad Gita talks very predominantly of how to live life without being attached to the fruits of your action. I think this is the most common phrase, well-known phrase, very popular phrase from Bhagavad Gita, which teaches us live life without being attached to the fruits of your action. Surrender everything to me is what Parandama, Bhagavan Krishna says. Yeah, it's a wonderful way to live. But how do you actually apply it in situations when life is forcing you to be in situations, especially when you feel sense of failure? When you know, when you're suffering in guilt, when you know you have let down people who trusted you, when you feel you're not living up to people's expectation of you, how do you live that life without being attached to the fruits of your action? That is where life becomes difficult. That is when we put life down as being life negative, and life is difficult, life is hopeless. And anger, pain, suffering, everything starts from there. But I've seen Swamiji in the last almost 12 to 13 years I've been living in the Adinam as a sannyasi. I have seen so many people betray him. So many people who commit, who promise to do so many things, to stand by the mission. Because he's not an individual. There's nothing like how I as an individual would feel like my family have to stand by me. It is not that. For Swamiji, it's everything about Kailasa, and Kailasa is everything about enlightenment to each and every human being on this planet Earth. And can you imagine 8 billion people living and radiating enlightenment, living without anger, without frustration, without feeling depressed, without feeling a sense of loss of hope, of feeling hopeless. Hopelessness is the biggest challenge for humanity. How do you get out of that well? Especially when someone betrays you, especially when someone commits to you 150 times or even beyond and say you will stand by them, you will do everything for them, and then turns around and does exactly the opposite of what your vision is, your mission is, or what you feel is the right thing to do, or what you want in life. Just imagine the situation. Even your best friend, after years of friendship with her, one day you come to realize and you come to know with evidence, with hard, cold evidences, that she has been or he has been working against you, betraying your trust. In everything, talking badly about you, trying to steal your finances, poaching on your corporate employees if you're a business partner. If your husband or wife has another relationship behind your back, how do you feel? That sense of extraordinary hopelessness and this extreme hopelessness, betrayal, anger is what takes away life from us. But similar situations I have seen Swamiji, so many disciples, so many devotees who commit. And Swamiji is not like, I know if I have a friend and if I really love the person, I will do only what I can do within my limitations. But for Swamiji, it's not like that. If anybody commits to him as a disciple or devotee, he will do everything possible and beyond. I will come back to an example for this. I used to wonder, but even for people who used to let him down, even for people who would betray him, I see him constantly reconnecting to them out of compassion. Of course, from a place of an incarnation and enlightened being, we can probably put it down to, okay, he's enlightened, so he knows his human emotions and only he can help people out. All that is fine. But the impact that these people have had on the vision, on Kailasa, has been tremendous. Tremendously difficult. I will not say tremendously positive, but tremendously negative. And even for those people, he still reaches out, he still connects. And I still wonder why. Why would he do that? If it was me, I would have said, fine, get lost. I mean, there are so many billions of people outside the world who would love me for who I am and who will not betray me, who will not let me down. Even with so much, I have never seen Swamiji get angry at all. Whereas all of us get angry at every small thing. If a car honks behind, we get irritated. Irritation just erupts in us. If after coming back from work, or if you're going to work and your house is not in order, or there's no coffee or tea on the table for you, you get angry at your spouse who was at home taking care of the house. If you run out of fuel, you start cursing the whole world. If your car or a bike runs out of fuel, you curse the whole world. Anger is such a fundamental emotion in today's life, and it's become a norm.